Captain by a hook with a red beard. Captain by a hook with a red beard.
Man, please. All about my bread, like some ham and cheese. Before we get into sports, I don't usually talk anything but sports on this show. But in the wake of everything that's happened down in New Orleans, I just want to say my heart goes out to the people. Just can't wrap my mind around why things like this even happen. But I'll wrap it up short and sweet. Hopefully, Sugar Bowl today can be smooth and a reminder to the nation how beautiful this city is. In short, in NOLA, we trust. I didn't say moment of silence. That was a moment of silence. Anyway, jumping into sports. Last 2 days of college hoops. Bananas. We saw Kansas. I know they only lost by one. But that first half was a turkey dog whooping. Special, baby. Buy two, get nothing. 20 points in the first half for Kansas and the gang. I have a strong opinion on what's going on in Kansas, what's been going on in a lot of programs due to the transfer portal. Kansas is just the biggest name, the best example, and the most recent one. Open the show with that. Also want to talk some North Carolina basketball. In my lifetime, and I know this is premature, a few years ago they looked like this. They ended up going to the damn national title game against Kansas and losing. But this might be the worst I've ever seen the North Carolina program look. Sadly, Roy Williams ain't walking through that door, and surely, safe to say, Roy Williams is missed in the North Carolina program. Touch on that and more. We will recap the last 2 days of college basketball briefly, preview today's games in college hoops. I got 6 of them things. Might be 7. Definitely will give out all of my bets later in the show. Also, It's Thursday, baby. We're counting down. The countdown. Counting down to March Madness. It'll be here before you know it. To be specific, to be specific, 11. I was about to say 10, but I'll just say 11 Thursdays from now. We'll be getting ready to tip off the greatest tournament on earth. Brief look at it today. We will dive deeper and deeper as we get closer. Probably wait till mid-February to really start breaking things down. But I do want to touch on it just a tad today. There's some teams we need to be watching out for. Pittsburgh being one of them, but we'll get to all of that and more. It's Captain by a Hook with the red beard. I'm Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dobbs, going live on a fantastic Thursday. It is the second day of the year 2025. 363 days to go. Only 364 days in the year, baby. Presented by Stare Down Sports. Stare Down Greatness. If you peeped Stare Down Sports, I wrote a piece on what I'm about to talk about. Kansas and West Virginia proving that you cannot buy wins. First of all, before I go into this deep dive, hats off, round of applause. West Virginia, just 2 years removed from Huggins, figuring out their stride. 10-2, baby. 1-0 in conference play after taking down Kansas 2 nights ago. But shout out to the Mountaineers, man. 10-2 start. Definitely were not on my radar coming into this season. Um, Pittsburgh, another team, just getting the job done. But what I want to talk about most, you have players like Hunter Dickinson. He had a double-double, 10 points, 12 boards. Players like AJ Storr. I mean, this kid played 15 minutes. 0, 0, 0, 0. Ask me a stat. 0 is what he put up. I'm not mad at the kids. I don't even blame the kids. The kids are just taking what they can get and in return taking it for granted. I believe. And we saw this last season with Memphis, sort of. We've seen it with a lot of programs that end up transfer heavy. Even USC this season. It doesn't usually work out, does it? There is a huge, how do I put this? We don't realize how much pride is a factor. Earning to put on these school colors, being proud of wearing these school colors, and being thankful and grateful for the opportunity to step out on that floor and in return, giving your all, effort, energy, leaving it on the floor, as they say. It's apparent from Kansas specifically. These players don't give a hot ham about wearing the Kansas Jayhawk blue and red. Historic franchise ruined by the transfer portal. Now, again, I don't blame the kids. I blame the system. How can you tell a kid who never gave a hot ham where he played ball at. He's going to go to whichever school puts the biggest number on a check. Kansas, as great of a name as it is, it seems that these players put on the Kansas Jayhawk jersey thinking, now that I'm at Kansas, we're going to go 31-1 just because my jersey says Kansas. They don't realize y'all got to go out there and earn and produce that 31-1 record. You don't just put the Kansas jersey on and become a winner. Winners have to put the Kansas jersey on, and that applies to every school. Yet these players don't, I'm not going to say they don't earn it, but it's not like these are high school kids being recruited by Bill Self. These are players that duped the system, if you will. Looked like they could be breakout stars. Looked better than they were at Wisconsin, at Michigan. Honestly, I feel bad for all the hate I gave Juwan Howard for how bad Hunter Dickinson played. Because Hunter Dickinson, in his first year under Bohan, superstar potential. Juwan Howard takes over. His game falls apart. I thought Bill Self would bring the kid back, but I think he's so far lost, so far gone. Hey, UPS is higher. It's a shame that the pride in college basketball has disappeared. We're paying kids millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. Why would they give a hot ham about winning? Why would they give a hot ham about going to the league? Their whole life is messed up now. They don't care about legacy. They don't give a damn about going to the league. They young. They dumb. They never had money. Now they got $3 million. 1.7 after tax. They don't realize that money, if not used properly, is temporary. And temporary satisfaction robs a person of their potential and reaching it. The human in us gets comfortable. The human in us settles. And I believe the problem with the NBA game is too many kids already got their ego stroked and their pockets filled. But hey, who the hell am I? North Carolina, on the other hand, completely different problem. And I honestly don't know what that problem is. I thought I had them pulled up over here. North Carolina loses by 13 to Louisville, bringing their record to 8-6 on the season. Hubert Davis, big dog. I hate to break it to you. That run you had in 2022 to go to the championship game, it's over with. The last few seasons, you've been trash. Your recruiting has been trash. You've went from traditional North Carolina basketball, dominating the paint, recruiting big men. Long line of great big men at North Carolina, and I haven't seen one since Baycott left. I know it hasn't been that long since Baycott left, but let's be honest. You did not recruit Baycott, you were giving him, which means 0 big men recruited under your watch. We got to watch guys like R.J. Davis, Elliot Cadeau, Seth Trimble. This is not a little man's game. Steph Curry made y'all believe it could be. But I don't think people realize how great Steph Curry is to be the anomaly. No superstar under 6'4" has found success in this sport without the help of big men until Steph Curry. And for some reason, these idiots think that that's just the new wave. No. It was lightning in a bottle, and now the game suffers. Tired of watching basketball where literally 0 players are within 18 feet of the basket. North Carolina, do what you got to do. Hubert Davis ain't your guy. And Roy Williams ain't walking back into that locker room. Let's recap some things. It's captained by a hook, baby. Louisville 2-1 now in conference play after beating North Carolina. Also, North Carolina was down 1 point with about 3 minutes and 45 seconds left. They go to the under 4 break. I'm like, they got it, bruh. North Carolina going to pull this thing off. Look back, 13-point loss. Which means in 3 minutes, not only did you let a team score 20-something point, I think it was 59-60. I swear to God. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. This game was 59-60, 3 minutes left. You scored 11, they scored 23. You gave up 23 points in 3 minutes? If I ever give out North Carolina again, and then I'll say this month, because I still got a feeling this North Carolina team can do something. But then again, I'm probably giving them way too much credit just because it's North Carolina. UConn, baby. The Huskies. They're getting back on track. 3-0 now in conference play. Haven't lost a game since the Maui debacle. They also covered this thing last night. Depending on what number you got it at, it was by the hair on my chinny chin chin. I got it at 11.5. But UConn getting the job done. Up 21 at the half. Somehow this thing got close in the second. I'm still concerned about UConn. This is a game they won by 40 last season. Only won it by 13 this season. They don't have the third gear anymore. If they don't beat you with the first or second gear, you can get them. UConn still worries me. Speaking a national title, 3-peat chances, but damn good team. And shout out to them for covering yesterday. Solo Ball. He led the way with 22 points. Alex Caraban chipped in 18 to do his part. Pittsburgh, baby. This team's looking good. This team's looking great. How about the fall of the ACC? Pittsburgh's one of the best teams in the ACC right now. They're 11-2, 2-0 in conference play. They beat the California Golden Bears by 12. I regret not betting Pittsburgh. As this game started, I said, damn, I should have bet Pittsburgh. I honestly somehow let it slip under my radar. But Pittsburgh, 11-2 right now, 86-74. I mean, Roy Williams left, Coach K left, Larinaga just left, Boheim's gone. Uh, looks like Lenny Hamilton is going to be gone pretty soon. The ACC went from the top dog in college basketball my whole life to becoming chopped liver since all of this realignment and coaching BS. Realignment BS, coaches retiring. Hey, they get old. 30-year run for the ACC was a great one. Drake, the Bulldogs, they lose. First game of the season, they go from 12-0 to 12-1. They lose to the UIC Flames, baby. Drake now 2-1 in conference play. 4-point loss for Drake. Even though Bennett Sturts dropped 30 points and 12 assists, it wasn't enough for Drake. Man. Tyam Freeman, Javon Jackson, and Jordan Mason all put up double digits, 16, 15, and 17 for the Flames. Clemson, baby, they're 3-0 now in ACC. It's crazy. You go from Blue Bloods to teams like Pittsburgh and Clemson running the show in the ACC. Stanford is who they played. They beat Stanford 85-71. Wasn't even close. 22 points for Chase Hunter for Clemson. A few other scores. Duke, they're 3-0 in ACC play, keeping the Blue Bloods alive. They turkey dog whoop Virginia Tech. It was 88-65. Duke now 11-2, 3-0 in conference play. Tennessee stayed undefeated on New Year's Eve, blowing out Norfolk State. Wake Forest, they got the win over Syracuse. The Orangemen now 6-7. The Orangemen 0-2 in ACC play. The Syracuse Orangemen also. Jim Boheim ain't walking back through that door. I hate to say fire, but Syracuse's basketball coach has the body language of a bleeping loser. We need a new coach, bruh. Cayenne Anthony ain't gonna save us. No other splashy name. We got players. We just don't have leadership or coaching. And I say we because behind me, my Syracuse shorts, that wasn't planned. I just threw them up there yesterday when I took them off. You see the Syracuse. I'm a Syracuse fan through and through. Bleed orange. And this shit is heartbreaking. 6-7 for the Orangemen. They lose to Wake Forest by 10 after playing them close pretty much the first half. Wake Forest, my man Frank, best bet of the day. I almost slapped him when he said it, but man, oh man, was he right. Marquette, absolutely walking the dog against Providence. Marquette now 3-0 in Big East play, 12-2 overall. Cam Jones, 18-10. Shout out to him. Kentucky 11-2 now. SEC play getting underway. We got Big Ten tipping off today. SEC tipping off this weekend. Virginia, close game against North Carolina State. We took the over on that one Tuesday. Virginia got the win 70-67. Both of those teams 8-5, 1-1 in conference play. Baylor, 30-point win over Utah. The Utes, Baylor 1-0 now in Big 12 play, 9-3 on the season. Don't look now, but Central Florida upsets Texas Tech on the road 2 days ago. Central Florida now 10-2 on the season, 1-0 in Big 12 play. Texas Tech falling to 9-3. Even though your kid, your boy, Toppin had 26-10. K Hall dropped 22-8, leading Central Florida to victory. The Green Wave of Tulane. They start off their conference play 1-0 after beating Charlotte 83-68. The Bonnies are now 1-0 in conference play. St. Bonaventure 13-1 now. Can't wait to see what they do with this season. UMass kept it close but fell ultimately to St. Joseph's and Duquesne. Rhode Island. Don't go breaking my heart. I got a lot on these Rhode Island futures, and I'm starting to regret them. Rhode Island, they fall to 11-2 after only scoring 55 points against Duquesne, losing by 12. Speaking of the A10, Dayton, 14-point win over LaSalle. They start their conference season 1-0. Xavier beats Seton Hall by a whole hell of a lot, and Georgia Tech does the same to Notre Dame. Arizona State, yikes. Defense falls apart in the second half, allowing Saunders to score 30 points. BYU put up 45 in the second half, hugging on their hats. 76-56 win over Arizona State. North Texas, the Mean Green basketball playing machine. They're now 1-0 in the American League, 10-3 on the season after beating UAB by 3. I told you. Stephen F. Austin in the F stands for covers. They get the win outright as dogs on the road on New Year's Eve. It wasn't Christmas, but Christmas. 24 points, 14 boards for the Lumberjacks. 62-57 win over Abilene. Christian. George Washington 11-3. They fall to Richmond. Richmond 6-8 now on the season. 1-0 in conference play. UNLV, the running Rebels of Las Vegas. They're 2-0 in the Mount West, baby. Getting the job. They beat Air Force 77-58. Creighton outlast St. John's. St. John's, let me give you a piece of advice. Put the ball in Kaderi Richmond's hands on the last play of the damn game. They end up getting a good mid-range shot to win it. Missed it. St. John's 11-3. Creighton 9-5. Both of those teams 2-1 now in the Big East. Mountain West action. Colorado State 2-1 now after beating San Jose State by 22. New Mexico 3-0 in the Mountain West as Fresno State falls to 0-3. New Mexico 103-89 victory there. Another Mountain West team undefeated. Boise State 3-0 in Mountain West play. They beat Wyoming the other night. And Utah State, shout out to me, plus 140 on the money line. Utah State walking the dog. They're 13-1 now on the season. Jared Calhoun, come on down. I don't think they do Coach of the Year in college. Jared Calhoun's high on that list. They get the win over you say Nevada, I say Nevada. 69-64 win for Utah State. 3-0 now in the Mount West. Man, please. I cannot wait 2-3 weeks from now, a month from now, to dive into these conferences and see how everything's playing out. Mount West. A lot of 3-0 teams right now in the Mount West. Can't wait to start seeing them take on each other. Got a great show for you guys today. Having a blast with it, too. Having a blast. It's Captain by a Hook, baby. With the red beard. Presented by Stare Down Sports. Stare Down Greatness. Let's preview March briefly before we preview today's games and give out our plethora of bets. You got Auburn right now, the #1 overall seed. I like it, but I don't love it. Auburn lost in the first round last year. Definitely going to carry that with them this year. Definitely Sweet 16, Elite 8-esque. I just don't know how deep Auburn truly gets. Just to take a look at the fringe right now, the last 4 in is Arizona State, SMU, Nebraska, and Vanderbilt. Nebraska. I think they'll get off that fringe. I think instead of being an 11 seed playing on Tuesday, they'll end up being a top 7 seed in one of these brackets, and Nebraska will have a comfortable spot at least in the field of 68 or 64. I'm honestly lost at this point with how the numbers work. But the four number one seeds right now, well, hold on. And then the first four out is Missouri, Iowa, St. Mary's, Northwestern. Northwestern and St. Mary's, I think, will find their way into this tournament. Iowa and Missouri, I don't believe in as much, but anything can happen very early in the season. Next four out, which is four teams. I think three of these four get in the tournament, even though right now they're not even close. Well, they're close, but they're not the first four. They're the next four. You got BYU, who is absolutely killing it right now. I don't know why they're not in it just off of what they've done so far. They're 1-0 in conference play. I know it's early, but they're 10-2 on the season, and you're telling me they're not good enough to rock and roll? I guess the two losses. I guess they only got one good loss, and that's Arizona State the other day. But they beat Arizona State by 20. Anyway, I expect to see BYU in this field. I expect to see Creighton in this field. Creighton's dealt with a lot of injuries. They just got Ashworth back last game, and they got the win over St. John's with Ashworth dropping 18. Arizona, bit of a rocky non-conference schedule. See what they do in the Big 12. Their first season in it. Are they in the Big 10? I'm still learning this. BS. They're in the Big 12, 7-5. Yikes. Um, but Arizona, I think they'll make their way in. Louisville, that's a tricky one. Pat Kelsey, I think he'll have long-term success at Louisville. First season's always hard for a head coach. They do get the win over North Carolina yesterday. I don't know how big of a win that proves to be. The top four one seeds right now, you got Auburn, Tennessee, Duke, and Iowa State. Excuse me. Lord have mercy. The two seeds right now, you are looking at Alabama, Florida, Marquette, and Oregon. My favorite to win it all, Kentucky as a three seed. I like Kentucky to stay in that 3 to 4 range. They'll probably end up a two seed, might even end up a one seed. But I like both UConn and Kentucky right now as three seeds. I just like that road for them. Right now, Kentucky would take on Kent State and then the winner of Illinois or Arizona State SMU. Whew. Any one of those matchups will be tough in the round of 32 for Kentucky. But I like it and I love it. Just some of the matchups we're looking at right now in the round of 32 that have me just absolutely geeked. And of course, disclaimer, it's January 2nd. We probably get 0 of these, but I like looking at the bracket just to see potential matchups. What would I do if Duke, UCLA ran into each other in the Sweet 16? Hmm. A boy could dream, can he? Right now, that's what I would have happening. Duke, UCLA, Kentucky, probably St. John's. I don't know. That St. John's, San Diego State, Florida, all three of those teams are pretty damn good. I mean, this whole West bracket has a bunch of good damn teams. Ole Miss, Texas Tech, Duke, Memphis, UCLA, Illinois, Arizona State, Kentucky, McNeese, SMU, St. John's, San Diego State, Florida. All of those right now projected to be in the same bracket. I don't know. I mean, I got Kentucky winning it all, so my biased answer off the top is them coming out of this bracket. But man, you talk about teams like UCLA at the 4 seed, Memphis at the 5 seed, hell, even Duke at the 1 seed, Old Miss as a dangerous 8 seed, I think, and then St. John's, San Diego State, that 7-10 matchup is going to be on fire. But man, Texas, Michigan, potential first round matchup. The madness, just on paper, as is right now, looks promising. North Carolina still a 10 seed as of 2 days ago. The loss yesterday hasn't been factored in. I don't know if North Carolina should be considered a 10 seed. They have played some tough damn games. But man, how about Georgia as a 9 seed? How long has it been since we've seen Georgia in this tournament? Feels like it's been a while. Wisconsin, Arkansas, potential first round matchup. Again, I don't mean to touch on this too long, but man, oh man. I love it. Right now, just a quick run through. Let me see. Duke, UCLA, Kentucky. I put Kentucky, Duke. That's an Elite Eight matchup. Um, I'm gonna say UCLA upset Duke. F it. UCLA, Kentucky, even back. Oh, that's a great Elite Eight matchup. I'll give Kentucky to the Final Four. Over here, man, that offense gonna have to show up for Iowa State. Um, but man, it looks like they're running to Houston in the Sweet 16. Just my opinion. And then you got UConn probably running into, I don't know. Maryland's a 7 seed right now. I like Maryland. I'm gonna back them tonight. But I don't know. This little four right here, you got Maryland, West Virginia, Alabama, Norfolk State. I don't think any one of those four teams makes any noise. So give me UConn making it to the Elite Eight, taking on oh, Houston or Iowa State. I'm gonna give UConn the nod. We got UConn in the Final Four with Kentucky. Can't stop, won't stop. Rockefeller Records, and we get down, baby. We get down. Always looking to fade Tennessee in March. Still think they get to the Sweet 16 though this year. Gonzaga, I think they can come out of this little four. Purdue, Arkansas State, Gonzaga, Princeton. You got Gonzaga, Tennessee. I don't know. That's a tough one. Flip the coin. Let's do it. F it. We're having some fun, baby. Gonzaga, heads. Tennessee, tails. Heads it is. Gonzaga in the Elite Eight. Michigan, Texas, Kansas, Cincinnati, Marquette. Those are the teams I think can make a run there. I'm gonna go Marquette over. I'm gonna go Marquette over Michigan. So you got Marquette, Gonzaga. Hey, F it. Gonzaga, heads. Marquette, tails. It's heads again. Gonzaga to the Final Four. I don't think that's going to happen. But man, oh man, it's January 2nd. We're having a blast. Auburn, definitely don't believe in them to get far, but they will come out of the first two rounds. We got Sweet 16 with Auburn and Michigan State, baby. That's going to be a damn good one. And then I don't know. I like this Oregon team a lot, but I damn sure don't think Oregon should be a 2 seed. But what do I know? The one loss Oregon Ducks. Shout out to them. Let's say they get to the Sweet 16 and take on, I don't know, Baylor, Drake, Texas A&M, or Lipscomb. I'm gonna put. Whew, man, that's gonna be a crazy matchup. Texas A&M and Baylor. Uh, let's go Baylor. F it. Baylor, Oregon, Michigan State, Auburn. Um, I'm not gonna be biased. Michigan State tails, Auburn heads. Michigan State tells Auburn. It was heads. Auburn goes to the Elite Eight, and they take on. I'll just say Oregon right now. Oregon, Auburn, heads, tails, tails, Auburn. It's heads again. God damn, this thing's been heads 4 times in a row. I promise y'all, there's a tails on this thing. This is a legit 50-cent piece. So we got Auburn, Gonzaga, Kentucky, and UConn in the Final Four. Pretty boring, pretty basic. Definitely will be some more madness than that. I don't know if we get a double-digit seed this year, but it would be fun. It would be a blast to see a double-digit seed get to the Final Four. Um, Maybe a team like Texas at the 11th seed could do it. I mean, if North Carolina's a 10 seed, it's just North Carolina. It's hard for me to say they're gonna be trash, but boy, oh boy, are they trash. Anyway, we'll keep diving into March Madness and the bracketology every Thursday leading up to March. Probably mid-February, we'll start breaking down stats and numbers and really getting to the bottom of the madness. It's Captain by a Hook, baby. Presented by Stare Down Sports. Stare Down Greatness. Let's look at today's slate. I got 6 in a possible for you. Numbers moving. Love it. Unfortunately, all my bets is on night games. Even though there's games starting at noon, I ain't got nothing on them. Let's look here. Games I don't have. Penn State's 5.5 against Northwestern. Northwestern is 10-3 on the season. Penn State's 11-2 on the season. This game is going to be a Big Ten classic. I'm talking 56, 55, 62, 63. I'm thinking it's a one-point game. Either way it rolls. Give me the Northwestern. I don't know their moniker. The Wildcats? They are the Wildcats. Northwestern Wildcats. Give me Chris Collins in the game. Plus 5.5 tonight. Hell, I might even bet that. Might have to add that to the old slipperoo. Northwestern plus 5.5. Definitely think this thing stays close. They're 8-5 so far against the spread. Again, 10-3 on the season. Penn State's 11-2. Penn State's at home. I don't think 5.5 though. 2.5, 3 maybe. Give me Northwestern plus 5.5. If I had to bet that thing, the thing. Man, I got money on most of the good games. Let me see. Yay. What it be? Yay. Man, I feel like I've been tired since Christmas. I haven't been able to catch up on some rest. Maybe I got to get more active. I feel like I've been resting too much. Has to get more active. You got Gonzaga tonight laying 34.5 against Portland. This is the same Gonzaga team that couldn't cover 20 and a hook 3-4 nights ago against Pepperdine. Yeah, that was Monday. And all of a sudden I'm supposed to believe you about to beat this team by 40? I'll pass. I will pass on that ass. Portland is 3-10 though. Sheesh. But I mean, damn, ATS, damn near same record as Gonzaga. You got 6-7 for Portland, 6-8 for Gonzaga. Gonzaga just not covering like they used to. Louisiana Tech, this is a fun one. They're taking on UTEP, the Mighty Miners. UTEP, small favorites at home, -2.5. They're 7-3 on the season. La Tech, Louisiana Tech, they're 8-2 on the season. Louisiana Tech also 8-2 ATS, while UTEP's 5-5. Man, I want to bet Louisiana Tech so bad, so bad. But Mighty Miners at home, I like them to win that thing. Just gonna stay away from this game. I got Louisiana Tech to win this conference. I'm just gonna ride that future out in games like this. I'll look to back Louisiana Tech at home. Probably just have the future riding on the road. On the road again. Santa Clara. They're supposed to be good before the season. Started off slow, 9-6, won 4 out of the last 5. However, they're laying 13.5 on the road against San Diego. San Diego's 3-10. I don't know. I just can't get there with Santa Clara yet. I got this number at 7, so 13.5, double my number. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. This is a fun one. San Francisco, the Dons, they're laying 14.5 on the road, taking on Pacific. To be specific, Pacific 3-11 on the season, while the San Francisco Dons 11-3. I love it with numbers. Flip. I'm just a numbers guy. Still, I cannot lay the 14.5 with San Francisco. Conference play always makes me nervous with small schools. Will they show up? Will they not? The last game I'm going to talk about before we get to my bets. You're looking at St. Mary's laying 16.5 against Pepperdine. This Pepperdine team Just took Gonzaga to the damn wire. I believe that game was 5 or 8. It was a single digits. And now you're telling me St. Mary's is laying 17 against Pepperdine? If I had to bet this thing, it'd be Pepperdine plus the points. But Lordy, who shot Shorty? I'm gonna stay away from it. Uh, Probably gonna run from it, honestly. Excuse me, I lied to you. Last game, Oregon State minus 4.5. Go ahead and put your money where your mouth is. Oregon State 10-3 ATS, 10-3 overall. They are taking on the 7-6 Loyola Marymount. Oregon State minus 4.5. Hell, I might have to bet that too. I might end up with 9 bets today. Oregon State minus 4.5. Let's see how these 6 o'clock slates go. I got 2 bets at 6. If I win both of those, hell, if I win one of those, I'm gonna jump on this Oregon State minus 4.5. It's a 9 o'clock game, so you got time to think about it. For all you football bettors, Mega Mill money off the Sugar Bowl. Oregon State minus 4.5. Hell, that shit might be the best bet of the damn day. 10-3 ATS on the road against a team who's struggling. Damn near 500, 7-6 overall in the season. Also, Loyola Marymount dropped the last 2 games. Oregon State minus 4.5. That's a hot ham bet. That's a good ass bet. I like that shit. Like that shit a lot. But anyway, there's another one I like a lot that I was just talking about. I can't remember it though. I can't get Oregon State out of my mind. Probably gonna bet Oregon State tonight. Oh yeah, Northwestern plus 5.5, Oregon State minus 4.5. Don't mark my words, but these are the type of bets that I don't take and regret because they end up slapping. Slapping. Anyway, let's jump into the games I have bet already. It's Captain by a hook, baby. How you love that? Oh yeah. Don't know if you know. I'm gonna try and bring you our shows in 2025. At least Thursdays and Fridays. Thursdays and Fridays. Anyway, Memphis. They're taking on Florida Atlantic. Memphis. They've been rolling. They've been rolling. They're 3-2 in their last 5. I like them tonight. Florida Atlantic 6-6 on the season. You got the 10-3 Memphis Tigers. Tigers of Memphis coming off of a huge win against Old Mississippi. I like the Tigers on the road tonight. 3.5 feels about right. I'm gonna be honest with you. I like the money line, 3.5. But something about this Memphis team, they don't play close games. They either lose by 8, 10, or they win by 20. Give me Memphis to come out, prove something, start this conference season off right. Give me Memphis minus 3.5 as the first bet for this evening. And then this one's moving. Moving. It was 8.5 this morning, 9.5 now. I like it. Even though Hamptons won 5 in a row, even though Hamptons, they started off 0-5, by the way. So you go 0-5, and then you go 5-0. Hampton 5-5, 8-2 ATS. Man, this is my least favorite bet of the day. And now that it's moved to 9.5, I'm probably not going to take it. I took it at 8.5, but I wouldn't take it at 9.5. I got Charleston 8.5, and I hate it. But I love the College of Charleston. I love the return of the Mac. I think I'm caught up and lost in the story of this team. Blindly betting Charleston. I got them 8.5. Just stay away. Instead of betting Charleston, bet Oregon State and watch Oregon State lose as Charleston win by 50. But anyway, Charleston minus 8.5 was my bet. It's 9.5 now. Um, I've been looking at this thing since last night, and the more I look at it, the less I like it. The rest of these things I love, though. Absolutely love. Purdue taking on Minnesota. Minnesota, definitely not good. They are 8-5 on the season, but man, when they lose by 30. I think Purdue has the talent to get them. Purdue minus 6.5 on the road tonight. It does scare me they're on the road, but give me Purdue minus the 6.5. Kind of just fading Minnesota. They're 2-11 ATS. Give me Purdue to turn that into 2-12. Purdue minus the 6.5. Definitely think they win by double digits. My number is 8.5 though. It's like 8.8 to be specific. For Purdue beating Minnesota. This one's a fun one. We got Maryland. They're taking on Washington. Maryland minus the 6.5. Maryland. Not the greatest team ATS, but 11-2. Washington. This is more of a fade on Washington than me riding with Maryland. Washington. Ass cheeks, if you ask me. Give me Maryland minus the 6.5. Probably going to regret it. For some reason, Maryland always makes me regret betting on them. But tonight I'm riding with the Terrapins. Give me Maryland over an out-of-shape Washington team. Maryland minus the 6.5. Move over to a total. Just keeping it Big Ten though, baby. Big Ten action. Tipping off a beautiful night. We got Oregon taking on Illinois. Might be the best game of the damn day, just competitive wise. Oregon laying 4.5 at home. I honestly feel like that number is too big. Illinois is probably going to keep it close, but I'm not betting on that. I'm betting on this total that is way, way, way too high. This game stays in the 140s, and you can get under 156.5. Oh, baby, give it to me. The under in Oregon, Illinois, we're going under 156. And the hook down there in Oregon, late game for you. Under 156, Oregon, Illinois. And then my man, he's on fire this week. My man Frank's 2-0 thus far on the season. He's coming in with a hot one. So before I give you the best bet of the day, I need somebody, anybody, hit me with the horn. Woo! Franklin, Earl, Beardwinaton. But you can call me Frank. This is the best bet of the damn day. We got Indiana at home taking on Rutgers. 7:30 on Peacock. Throw a little ad in there for you. Peacock, send me a check. I'm kidding. Man, wouldn't it be dope? You could check out Peacock, Captain by a Hook, every morning, 7 a.m. sharp. Man, I got to get on the email. See what I got to do to get this show on Peacock, baby. Probably need a better mic. But anyway, Rutgers, they're taking on Indiana. Indiana's laying 5.5 at home against the Rutgers, and I get it. Indiana's 10-3. Rutgers, no ball movement. 5-8 ATS. Rutgers 8-5 on the money line. But man, I do not believe in Indiana at all. You can get Rutgers plus 5.5. I said F the points. Give me the money line. Rutgers plus 184. We're looking to not only double up, but damn near triple up tonight on this beautiful second day of the year. Give me Rutgers plus 184 on the money line as the best bet of the damn day from my man Franklin, Earl, Beardwinaton, and you can call me Frank. Let's recap these things really quickly. It's Captain by a Hook, baby, with the red beard. We're going to go Memphis minus 3.5. We're going to go Maryland minus 6.5. We're going to go Purdue minus 6.5. The more I say those bets, the less I like them. Under 156, Illinois, Oregon. That's Illinois, Oregon under 156. And the hook. I took Charleston at 8.5. It's 9.5 now. Don't like it. Instead of betting Charleston, I advise to bet Oregon State minus the 4.5. And then the best bet of the damn day from my man Frank, Rutgers on the money line plus 184. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the love and thank you for the support. 2025. Let's work on getting this show syndicated, baby. Peacock feels like a nice home, man. Anybody got any Peacock connections? Let me know. Holla at Yaguala. Anyway, it's Captain by a Hook, baby, with the red beard. Presented by Stare Down Sports. Stare Down Greatness. I'm Rowan Donaghy, a.k.a. Rowan Dobbs, going live on a fantastic Thursday, the second day of the year. Please take all of these wagers at your own risk, and please gamble responsibly. Dobbs. See you guys tomorrow with Jaden, Chandler, Parnell, as we talk all things football. Week 18 of the NFL and the next rounds of the college football playoffs coming at you live